If you are an international student in the UK and graduating in 2026 or 2027, you're probably asking one big question. How can I actually settle in the UK long term? With immigration rules changing and competition getting tougher, it's more important than ever to understand the realistic pathways available after graduation. So, in today's podcast, we are breaking down the main routes international students are using right now to build the future here, including the skilled worker visa, self sponsorship options, innovator founder visa, and the global talent visa route. To guide us through all of this, I am joined by Amil from Mac25 Immigration, who works closely with students and professionals navigating these pathways every day. If you're an international student planning your future in the UK, this episode will give you clarity on what's possible and how to prepare. So let's get started by introducing you guys to Amil. Hi Amil, welcome to Your Knowledge Buddy. And if you don't mind, can you please introduce once, I don't know how many times, to my audience, please?
Hi Sarika. So my name is Mohammad Amil. I'm an immigration expert based in Canary Wharf who help all kind of business immigration, personal immigration, not too complex, but want to help each and everyone. So I have my firm called Mac25 London and I love to serve your audience.
Awesome, thank you. And I think you handle all the cases, whether simple or complex. So even though you say you try to
Just wanted to be modest.
Yes, I know that. Yeah. Okay, so Amil, today's topic is all about settlement. So there are a lot of international students and immigrants who are in the UK, and when I interact with them, they primarily talk about skilled visa. I don't think they are aware that there are other visa categories as well in the UK which they can use to settle down. So today what we'll do, it's more like an educational video for immigrants and students watching this video to let them know that skilled visa is not only the visa category they should be targeting, there are other visa categories as well. So from you, I want to understand on a high level, what are the different visa categories people can use to settle down. And then maybe we'll do a little deep dive based on your explanation.
Sure, please go ahead.
Okay, so from your knowledge and expertise, which are the different visa types which allows anybody to settle in the UK?
Sarika, as you rightly said, people have got a lot of unawareness about the fact that there is only a skilled worker visa we have in this country to get settled down in the next 5 years, which is going to change soon.
Yes.
But if we look at other visa categories, we have been dealing with a lot of clients who are into innovator founder route, which have been, changed over a course of time. Before we had startup, then we had innovator, now we have got innovator founder. So it has kept on changing since the time. And then we have got a global talent route, which is also, I would say, like an underdog, what people actually are not aware about, because there are so many categories if we look for the global talent as well. And I think there are other routes as well, like a spouse visa and stuff like that. But let's say, as far as your audience is concerned, I would jot down on skilled worker visa, innovator founder route, and global talent.
Yes, okay. Where does self-sponsorship fall? Does it fall under skilled visa?
Yeah. I think self-sponsorship is something, Sarika, which is a topic on its own, as we have discussed a lot of time.
Yeah.
Self-sponsorship, as we all know, it's a term coin. There is no specific visa category as far as self-sponsorship is concerned.
Correct.
It is exactly the same thing as skilled worker visa, where the employee of the company is the director and the shareholder of the own company.
Yeah.
So I think self-sponsorship is being utilized by a lot of people currently who are on a graduate route, or maybe international students who are pursuing this route. But I think self-sponsorship is something what people need to look at if they do not fall in the category of innovator founder or a global talent, because for global talent and innovator founder, you need to have specific type of things in your kit bag. But as far as self-sponsorship is concerned, you do not need to have any specific thing, any specific business, or any specific turnover.
Okay, so let's talk about the eligibility criteria one by one for the visa category. So to keep it simple, we'll start with the skilled visa.
Right.
So what are the recent changes? So for anyone to be eligible for a skilled visa, what is the eligibility criteria, and what kind of documents are needed for people to apply for skilled visa? And like you said, as of today, people can get their ILR in 5 years, which may change, but we don't know what the new baseline will be. The proposal is 10 years and even 15 years for some of the job. Yeah. So if I have to ask you, for anyone to be eligible for a skilled visa, what are the eligibility criteria as of today?
So the number one thing I always say to all the people who are looking for the skilled worker visa, you need to have a job with a licensed sponsor in the UK. So by license, I mean the specific company or the organization needs to have a sponsor license who have got genuine vacancy in their company. Let's say a software IT consulting firm who's looking for a software developer. So if you're a software developer, you need to find a company who have got a sponsor license and who have got the specific vacancy, and they are going to issue you something called as a certificate of sponsorship. So in my term, I would say that's a visa from the company itself. They give you a certificate of sponsorship, which is 11 digit of digital number, which you can use in your skilled worker visa application. Apart from that, obviously, we have got the English language rules, which change in 8th of January 2026 from B1 level to B2 level, which is a higher level. And you need to make sure that whatever vacancy you're going into, you matches that specific criteria as far as your skills and knowledge are concerned. You don't need a specific degree. Let's say if you are getting a job as a software tester or a chef or a nurse or whatever we talk about, you don't need to have a degree per se, but you need to have some sort of skills and experience which matches the requirement of the sponsor. So in a nutshell, I would say skilled worker is all about that you need to have a specific skill, and you need to get a job with a licensed sponsor in the UK.
I have two follow-up questions on that. So when skill visa was introduced, it was talked about more on points-based system.
True.
So we don't even talk about it now. So
Yeah.
is it like in the back end, the points are being calculated? You get a job offer, you say 10 points or 20 points, then
Right.
for English language. So it still happens, and that's the back end logic of points-based system, right?
Exactly, because this point-based system has been taken from Australian immigration, if we say. Because previously, before Brexit, we never used to have this point-based system, but now it has been implemented since 2020, 2021.
Correct.
Where in order to get a skilled worker visa, you need to have 70 points.
Correct.
Where the points have been calculated on the basis of the skill level of job you're getting, your English language requirement, have you been issued a certificate of sponsorship, and the last one is the tradable points, whether you have got a specific salary, whether you are a new entrant or stuff like that.
Correct.
So those points are being calculated, and you have to get 70 out of 70 in order to get a skilled worker visa.
Anybody less than that, they are not eligible for skill visa.
Exactly.
And your salary threshold, so most of the time what people miss is the salary threshold. So you have to look at what is the salary threshold. If it doesn't meet the guidelines or whatever government has set up, you may not be eligible for skill visa.
Exactly, yes.
Second question I had, you mentioned about the recent change about B1 to B2 for English language. Is it only for the main applicant, or is it also for the dependents of skill visa?
Luckily, just for the main applicants.
Okay. So,
Luckily, just for the main applicants. But they have proposed something in the last year, May. They have proposed something, but I think as we go by the end of 2026, we would be talking about a lot of different changes down the line.
So they are also kind of looking for the dependent as well.
Of course.
Okay. So as of today, it's only for main applicant, the English language requirements, it changed from B1 to B2.
Yes.
Sorry, another question on this, Amil. So most of the international students who studied here masters, say.
Right.
So does that B2 is equivalent to the masters they have done? Do they have to give a different IELTS exam, or their master's degrees will be accepted?
Excellent question, because a lot of people from your audience as well who are reaching me out talking about exactly the same thing. So let's say if you have got a bachelor's degree from the UK, it is equivalent to B2 level.
Oh, perfect.
If you have got a master's degree, it is equivalent to C1 level.
Okay.
So I think down the line, whatever the ILR proposal they have, let's say if you have got a master's degree from the UK and if you have got a C1 English language requirement, your 10-year base year to get the ILR would be deducted by 1 more year. So let's say if you've got a master's degree from the UK, so it could be minus 1 year and you will be qualified in the next 9 years.
Yes, I remember that one of the proposal they mentioned about it. Okay, great. And is there any, for people who have done PhD, so what is the English language requirement equivalent?
It's exactly the same, C1.
Okay,
it's exactly the same.
Okay, great. So that's all about So that's all about the skill visa. Is there anything specifically you want to add about self-sponsorship? Because it's like a subset of skill visa.
Of course.
What difference people need to be aware of in terms of eligibility or something else?
So recently, I think I posted as well that we have got one successful case from startup visa to a self-sponsorship. One of my client used to have e-commerce business, which is very successful. He started his journey from a startup visa, but did not qualify for the Innovator founder route. And because the eligibility criteria for Innovator founder is a bit difficult as compared to startup visa, what we used to have. So he switched to a self-sponsorship. He got a lot of hurdles. He got the license quickly, but he was interviewed by the Home Office, and he was asked that why you being a director and joining your own company and stuff like that. And one specific thing he mentioned, because after the interview he gave me a call actually, and he said he was being asked by the officer that why do you think you are the correct person as a business development manager for your own company. And he rightly said he have started his business I think few years back, 3-4 years back, and he's the one who's managing the business and doing all the business development activities, and he actually did a lot of advertisement, but he did not find somebody who has got the same skill set as he has got. So he was very clear with the officer that what I have done in the past, I don't think so anybody can do a better job in my business than myself.
Oh, great.
And he waited for his visa for 8 months.
8 months.
8 months. And I think it was like a big thing once he got the visa. So after the interview, within 2 days we got his visa along with his family. Yeah.
Okay.
So it was a really, really fascinating story.
Yeah. But 8 months is a long time.
It is.
Yeah.
Because when you see, Sarika, when we talk about the self-sponsorship, most of the people we get are from the graduate route itself. Everyone have got a different journey, because now when we are doing self-sponsorship right now with many companies, they are either a cleaning company, they have got their own food truck, they have got their own restaurants, and mostly IT companies. They have got different situation, because home office actually need to assess if you are coming from an X background, do you have specifically that skill that you can do justice to your business, or you are just making up the vacancy to get the sponsorship. So it's a huge thing. Whenever we get a client, we first ask, let's say if you are an IT firm and if you're coming from a management background, how will you be able to satisfy the home office requirement that you're going to manage it. Either you can find somebody who can do the software development work, or either you can be a manager of your own company, but you need to have that skill set. Because when the interview is taken, it's not up to you or me or the applicant itself. The home office will assess whether that specific individual is a right fit for the company or not. So nowadays it is very important. Anyone comes to us, we just assess and we give them the reality that this is what is happening at this point of time. So be honest and have some integrity about it.
Okay. I just want to ask one question. When you said he switched from the starter visa to self-sponsorship, which is a skill visa.
Right.
So here the visa type is changed. Does that reset? His clock is reset to zero because the visa type is changed.
Exactly.
Right?
Yes, you're right.
Yeah. Okay. And if you would have continued with the starter visa, and that time, I don't know, starter visa was for 3 years to get your ILR. Was it for 5 years?
No.
Does he follow the old rule? I don't remember
So
that.
startup visa, it started in 2019 and it just used to be for 2 years, and it never used to lead to settlement.
Oh, starter visa did not let
So
us
home
settlement.
office always made a combination since the beginning, 2 years of starter visa and 3 years of innovator visa. Where at that point of time, the requirement was £50,000 for the innovator route. But he kept on having his own starter visa, and then the starter visa got closed, so he got an opportunity to switch to this skilled worker. So I think it was a long journey for him.
Yeah, indeed, of course. And then the wait of 8 months, and finally he had managed to get a self-sponsorship. Okay, so let's quickly move, because you have touched upon already Innovator founder as well. What is the eligibility criteria for anyone to be eligible to apply for Innovator founder visa?
Innovator founder is very fascinating because...
And tough, not only fascinating, I have to tell you. Because I know many people, based on people I interact with and people who book my meeting, they said they managed to get Innovator founder visa, but they did not manage to get ILR.
Yeah, of course.
And one of the reasons they told me, I don't know how, I did not do a fact check myself. So I'm going to tell what they shared with me. They shared that it's mentioned that in Innovator founder visa, you have to also, by end of 3 years, you have to show that you gave employment to 10 people.
Yeah.
Even if you're not able to do that, then you are not eligible to get ILR, which of course I was not aware of.
Of course.
Yeah. So what are the stuff you are aware of, Amil?
See, couple of weeks back, I had an interaction with a client where he was on his innovator founder route, but the rule says every 12 months you need to interact with your endorsement body, because they'll do a fact check.
Every 12 months?
Yeah. So the first check would be in 12 months, the another check would be in 24th month. So in the first 12 months, the endorsement body actually checked his business, like whatever he mentioned during the time of endorsement, is it exactly the way he's running the business? And unfortunately, he did not. he was focused on other businesses as well. He has got another ice cream company and stuff like that. So endorsement body didn't had any problem with other businesses, but they were only concerned about the fact that whatever business through which he has got the endorsement was not running well and not as per the plan what he submitted. So they just curtailed his endorsement and his visa was curtailed. They informed the home office. So I always tell my clients, if you have got an endorsement from an endorsement body through the Innovator founder, whenever the endorsement body comes back to you, they actually want to see whether whatever you have said or whatever you have planned, are you working towards that plan or not.
So in the checkup meeting that they have in 12 months, will they not say, hey, this is not how it's going, we give you another 1 month to go and fix it or make sure you're back to the plan that you had proposed us? Do they not give it rather than they give a notice and they curtail the visa? I mean,
see, endorsement body is obviously been worked by the home office. So home office has got the eyes on the endorsement bodies as well, because way before we used to have about 60 endorsement bodies and now we have got in single digits as far as the endorsement bodies are concerned.
Okay.
And at the end of the day, it depends on the endorsement body discretion as well, that how close you are to your plan. Let's say if you said 100 and you are close to 70 or 80, you might get a chance. But if you are at 30 or 40, even 1 month couldn't suffice that kind of distance. So it depends on the home office, the endorsement body discretion as well, where you are about in the plan. But let's say if you're close, you might get like a warning or something from them. But if they feel that even in the next few months you won't be able to come back, then obviously they are answerable to the home office as well, being an endorsement body.
Okay. So in terms of Innovator Founder Visa, do you guys also help our audience in terms of business ideas, or do you just help them process the visa, or do you help them with the presentation that they have to take it to the endorsing body? What kind of support you and your team provides at the moment?
At this point of time, we are doing the visa applications once the endorsement is coming, but I do a review service as well. Let's say if somebody comes up to me and say that, Amil, we have got this specific IT company and or a specific AI product we have developed. It's a MVP product and it's going to be good for the market. So I give them my own suggestions because we do a lot of visa application as far as the Innovator founder is concerned. Somewhere we get to know whether this plan will be able to get endorsed or not. So we have got partnership with other companies who can help you with business plans and stuff, or maybe business ideas, but at the end of the day we are only authorized to do the review thing. We can't give them the idea and stuff like that, because it all depends on the fact that what kind of scalable, viable and innovative business you can bring to the table, rather than we telling them that what they need to
exactly. And it's their business, right? They should be running it, and based on the cases you have handled, based on your expertise, you just guide them. Exactly. This is what you have seen, we can be successful, or this cannot be successful, or this may be questioned, or you may have to get more detail into it, right? And from my little knowledge that I have seen till the time nowadays what's happening, if you don't demo a product, if you just say, hey, I got an idea, I got this brilliant idea and this is what I'm going to do it, your idea is not going to be approved till the time you don't show a demo, whatever it is, MVP, like you said. If you cannot show a demo of it, there is no chance that your visa will be approved, or you will not get the endorsement from the endorsing body. This is what I know. This is not again a legal kind of advice for anybody. This is my personal suggestion from what I've heard from the people and the podcasts which I have done on my channel before. Okay, so for Innovative Founder Visa, anybody who's successful, they get their ILR in 3 years as of today, right?
Exactly, as of today.
And there's no plans or proposals in the new ILR that it will be changed. The baseline period for Innovative Founder Visa, they have not touched upon it, right?
Even in the consultation, they have exactly mentioned if you are through the Innovator Founder route, you are eligible to get the settlement in the next 3 years. So I think they are one of the protected group, I would say. Yeah, they'll be fine.
Do they also ask for English language test for Innovative Founder?
Yeah, of course. They do have English language
English language test, and then you need to have that letter from endorsing body.
Of course,
that's it, right?
Yeah, it is very basic, but I think whatever
main hurdle is about that.
Endorsement. Yes, exactly.
Applying a visa is not a problem. It's about your business idea.
That's true.
How viable it is. How you can scale that visa. How new and what business problem you're solving. Whether it's generating revenue or giving employment to the UK.
Residents.
That is the main thing.
Of course.
Okay, so let's move quickly to the global talent visa. So again, any kind of eligibility criteria you're aware, and what is the permanent settlement path for people for global talent visa?
So global talent has got a lot of subsets, I would say, because in global talent we have got a lot of categories as well. Like we have got arts and culture, we have got academy and research, we have got recently I just saw one of my friend's posts. He got endorsement through an endorsement body where he was doing Bharatnatyam. It's a Indian, for the people who don't know, it's an Indian regional dance form down south in India. So I think they got the endorsement as well, which I saw as well couple of days back, and I think it's quite fascinating. They're not my clients per se, but my friends of friends. And in global talent, what I have seen, they have got a different subset. Let's say if you have got a prestigious award from that specific category, then you don't need an endorsement. You directly get the global talent route, and you'll be qualified for the ILR in the next 5 years. Let's say you're a potential leader, okay, and you do not have that specific awards from that specific. I did one visa application for a client who get the best supporting actor from this authority called BAFTA.
Okay.
Which is a British Academy of
Yes.
Arts and Television,
True.
like that. Yeah. So we did the visa application for them for 3 years period.
Oh, so BAFTA is approved. I mean,
Of course.
that's the name.
Of course.
So if anybody got an award from like, I don't know if India's film fair is in the list
Unfortunately not, but we are not far away.
or not. Okay. And then in India, what do we have? IFA awards as well, I see.
Yeah, we got IFA, Film Fair, Zee
film
Cine
fairs.
Awards.
Yeah. So okay, so at least you have clients, who got BAFTA Best Supporting Actor, and they were eligible to apply.
Of course,
for this.
yes. That was really nice. But if, let's say, Sarika, you're a potential leader, then again we go back to the same route as Innovator founder, where you need to get an endorsement from the endorsement body in different sectors like digital and technology, arts and culture, academia and research, and there are a few other categories as well in as far as the global talent is concerned. And if you need an endorsement, then obviously once the endorsement is done, you're going to get the ILR in the next 5 years. Even they comes under the protected rule at this point of time.
Yeah.
They are under the consultation, but not for 10 years.
Yeah. Oh, which is good to know. Okay. I have learned a lot recently on the global talent visa, and thanks to the people who are watching my videos, because they are the one who reach out to me by saying, hey, I have got a global talent visa, and then I have interviewed them, I have hosted them on the podcast, and where I recently learned about a Route 3 global talent visa. I can share the details with you guys, whoever is watching the video. So one thing interesting, which was an eye-opener for me, for the Route 3, you require a job offer. But if that project is funded by UKRI, which is UK Research and Endorsing Body. No, UKRI, I forgot the full form. If your project is funded by them, you don't require anything called sponsorship, just a job offer. And the HR can give you the grant letter and employment letter, and you can apply for a global talent visa. So I'm happy to share more details if anybody wants to learn about it. I didn't know about it, but I'm learning more on that. So Amil, thank you. So we talked about 3 visa categories, skill visa and subset like a self-sponsorship visa, innovator founder visa, and the global talent visa. So anybody who's in the UK, whether you're a student or immigrant who are looking for a settlement path, skill visa is not the only thing you should consider. You should explore other categories to see which one really fits you based on your skill set, your experience. And all these 3 parts that we talked about leads to permanent settlement as of today, for sure.
Yes, that's
okay.
true.
Just wanted to ask one more thing before we wrap up today's video. Any common mistake you want to mention about any of this visa type that you've seen people are making?
At this point of time, we are doing a lot of self-sponsorships.
Okay.
So I think whoever we are getting at this point of time, and I want to go through your medium, and I want to tell the audience that whoever is doing the self-sponsorship at this point of time, the major problem they are having with is not being aware about the right to work checks. Not being aware about the fact that you need to have a specific skill set in order to be sponsored through your own company, and the importance of having an authorizing officer in your own firm. Because people think if you are doing a self-sponsorship, we'll just get a authorizing officer who'll just be on the paper and stuff like that. But I think you may be the owner of the company, but the authorizing officer is the owner of the license.
Okay.
This is very important to know for all the people who are getting into self-sponsorship.
So Amil, when you help your clients for self-sponsorship, do you also kind of educate them so that they're aware of it, right? Like it's like a train them, coach them, so
100%.
so that they follow the rules and avoid any kind of rejections, right?
So I always have this compliance training with all my clients.
Okay.
Whether you are doing a sponsor license, whether you're doing the self sponsorship, whether you are an international student or experienced professional having your own IT company, I make sure I train them well. I make them aware about what is the requirement by the home office. Because there are people who like to take shortcuts. I sometimes annoy my clients when it comes to documentations because I ask a lot of things from them. I might have lost few of them, I think, in recent times because they said I asked too many questions. But at the end of the day, this is for your own good. You know, you'll exactly give me the same money as you'll give it to somebody else. But if your foundation is strong since the beginning, whether we are just doing the sponsor license or the self sponsorship, it's going to be beneficial for you towards the end of the day. So I think I'll just say, you know, don't rush and trust us. That's it.
Great. Okay, Amil, thank you very much so far. Any final advice before we wrap up today's video?
Too many, but I won't take much of your time and your audience time if they have just swiped it towards the end. But at the end of the day, whenever you're doing any kind of visas, you need to make sure that what specific category you're going into, you need to know the eligibility criteria as well, whether it's skilled worker visa, self-sponsorship, global talent or innovator founder route, because these are different routes which obviously leads to settlement. But don't think if you have any kind of a business, you'll be qualified for innovator founder. Any businesses actually get qualifies for self-sponsorship or the sponsor license, but innovator founder has that own skill set where the business needs to be innovative, viable and scalable. So understand where do you stand at this point of time and which can actually lead to the settlement in a right way.
Yeah, true. Okay, so on that note, thank you very much, Amil. Thank you for coming and discussing this topic in detail. Hope this is useful for my audience who was only targeting about the skill visa or inquiring about the skill visa.
Right.
There are the visa categories as well, which now I think they are aware and they should be also looking if they are eligible for those or not. Thank you, Amil, and speak to you soon.
Thank you.